Here we go. We're on. And off. Here we are. And up. Three already. Welcome. You just heard me burp. Who do we have tonight? One watching. Oh, I chased two away? How about that? I took care of the title, by the way. I'm a minute early, but oh, it's all right. In fact, I was 2 minutes early. Hey, here we are. Here's two of you now. Welcome. Glad to have you here. Gotta look beautiful. Went and had my nails done today, by the way. I was talking about last night, pink. I did it. I changed from red to pink. There we are. Just because. Now we got three of us. All right. Who's here? I know we have 3 people watching. That means 3 people can make comments on the chat filter, chat thing, and say something. Let me know who you are. I know Roberta isn't here tonight. Simply because of square dancing for her on Tuesday nights. Who else is here? Let me know. I'm just curious, more than anything. I don't expect I'm going to find anybody from the UK on here because they're 8 hours ahead of me, which means it's 2 o'clock in the morning for them. So anybody who's up at 2 o'clock in the morning to watch me, I doubt your brilliance. I doubt your sanity. 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2. People get back and forth here. You get tired of me or not. I'm going to be here. It would be nice, though, if I knew who you were, so we can talk. I need comments. Because if I don't have comments, I'm just going to flap my gums and rattle on about any old thing, and it may get very well boring real quick. Oh, we don't want to have that. To make it lively, to make it interesting, to make it conversational, give me a question, ask me anything. I'm not too shy about most anything. advice to the lovelorn, fashion advice. Although if you're asking me fashion advice, I'm somebody who would be quite happy with a tote sack and an old piece of baling wire for a belt. How do you get started? How do you break the ice? Any kind of questions you might happen to have, I'm more than happy to try to answer it, or I can direct you off where you can go. Makeup, I'll try. I'm not good at it. What do you need to do to transition? That I can help with. I can speak from experience on that. Anything. What's it feel like after transition? Well,
use more toilet, bro.
Yeah, she just hit the nail right on the head. You use a lot more toilet paper. Trust me. You end up using a lot more. And there's 2 of us living here. I ain't gonna buy that stuff by the case box once a month. And that's just 2 of us. If we have any company, oh my gosh, does it get used up in good shape. But it's just the way it works. And frankly, you end up going a lot more often. Because remember, they're fiddling with the plumbing. And things happen when you meddle with the plumbing. It's a fact of life. I need some comments. Come on, people. You can do this. The keyboard. It's real simple. Just type something. Not this word something, but make a comment, make a statement. Like it, not like it. Want me here more often? Want me here less often? There's 3 of you that are watching out there. Or are you hoping that something else will happen and I'll give you a thrill? Well, that's going to take a while to get that. No. In fact, probably not even going to happen. Anybody wants to do this on their own, they can. It's not a difficult thing. For $9.99, you can subscribe to Wirecast, which is kind of like a YouTube, but a cheap budget one, and broadcast online. Because I found out that with YouTube, to do a setup like this, have a live YouTube streaming, you got to have a lot of signed subscribers and whatnot else to make it worth the effort. But I don't have that with 3 whole people watching and 24 total subscribers. So, this is the cheap alternative. I wish I could do better. And I could if I had more people watching. Tell your friends and neighbors. Be the first on your block to watch the latest videos from Phyliss. I'm trying anything I can here, so I need your help. Here. Move that a little better as I center myself. There. That's a little gooder. Who likes Penn and Teller? Or magicians. I've been watching some of their videos and shows on YouTube. Those guys are fun. And I found out why Teller doesn't speak. In an interview, he mentioned, and he does actually have the ability to speak. He just chooses not to as part of the whole act. Because when he was younger and first getting into magic, he would get booed and razzed and harangued and harassed while pretty on his show. They finally dawned on him, if I don't speak, they can't harass me because they'll have nothing to say back. I'll just let the magic do the work for me and do the trick. And he found out that was rather successful by saying nothing. So he adopted that whole theory of say nothing during the magic trick or any performances and keep that whole persona of not speaking going on and doing all that mime work. Oh, good for him. And Penn being the taller, more boisterous one, he makes the perfect foil for Penn and Penn Jillette and Raymond Teller. That's his first name, by the way, Raymond. In case anybody want to know, he doesn't have a legal single name like Cher, Roseanne. You know, a legal single name. So, but he's referred to constantly as Teller. Just now, there's only two of you. I'd like to know who the two of you are. It would be handy for me and helpful. I could talk with you if I knew who you were. How is my sound coming through? Not what you can tell me. My sound sounding good. I tried to adjust it last night, and everybody said I did a good job and got it, but hope I haven't meddled up the settings too badly since then. I don't think I have. Let's see. Anybody online here? Well, okay. Both of you here. I'm going to keep trying this, and I'm going to end up repeating myself a lot because I'm not getting any help, and I need the help. I have a question for both of you. We have, and I'm going to presume you're in the States, and I need some real answers on this to settle the discussion we have. The first meal of the day, almost everybody can agree it's called breakfast. There's two other meals. There's the midday meal and the evening meal. What do you call the midday meal, and then what do you call the evening meal? There's two different schools of thought. How about giving me some information of what your thoughts are? Because Steffi and I have a discussion on that all the time. I know what I was raised at, and I know what she was raised at, and actually it differs quite a lot. I say breakfast, dinner, and supper. Dinner being the midday meal. But again, I also understand, let's go out to dinner, meaning an evening meal. So that would mean breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Because you don't do dinner at a restaurant for a date. You do lunch at a restaurant for a midday date. Let's do lunch. If you say let's do dinner, let's go out to dinner. And she says supper is that what we normally would call late evening snack. You're getting ready to go to bed. You want to have one more little nibble, and you're going to be going in within a half hour, 45 minutes. So you have a munchie, a sandwich, a something, bowl of cereal, whatever. That is supper. So when we first started going out, I would say, what are we going to have for supper? She said, we go to bed after that. So I had to understand what she meant. To her, the evening meal is dinner. Or the British would sometimes say tea, evening tea. Because they would normally, way back when, that's when they would drink their tea with the evening meal. So, yeah, have tea, tea time. That's where it stems from. Dinner time, or some people would say supper. But what is your local idioms use to describe the different meals during the day? That's a subject of discussion. And speaking of dinner and supper, I made stir-fried chicken tonight, complete with soy sauce flavoring and some seaweed and ramen noodles, mixed it all up. Rather tasty. Roger, lunch and dinner. Okay. Thank you. So breakfast, lunch, and dinner. All right. I'll go with that. Who else could put it? See, it wasn't that hard for somebody to put in a comment. You're welcome. Anybody to say something. I know what my little site description is, but right now I'm getting desperate. I'll take anybody who's watching. You're welcome to say something. Even if you're already a member of my site, jump in there and say something. As long as it's polite. I'm good. Happy to have you. Where are you from, Roger? Thanks for holding these. I was just accepted into the group. Yes, welcome. Welcome. Glad to have you here. Come in more often. Yeah, it's a long story how the whole thing came about, and I'll go into it over time. You keep coming around, you're going to learn a lot about it. I would recommend on the homepage there, new member introduction, when the first category videos, posting guidelines. Just go over that quick, like, and you'll be in great shape. St. Louis, Missouri, the city with the arch. Got it. We went through there
Missouri.
3 years ago. Was it 3 or 4?
3.
3 years ago. We drove through it, saw the arch on our way up to.
The Missouri Arch.
We were going up towards. We had left Louisville. We were headed up to Sioux City, Iowa. So we ended up driving through that direction. Good for you. Where'd you buy them? A boutique or a big box store? Yeah. Oh, well, they were hurled. Okay, that's a start. That's a start. Many people get their starts there. Not that I'm not down. Trust me, I'm not downing you because you purchased there. A lot of people don't even have the nerve to go there to begin with, so that's a start. Anything is better than nothing. And standing in a corner. The women both took time to measure my chest and made suggestions on painting. Very good. So they're nice and accepting and helpful. I like that. You're one of the rare people that actually get assistance from a store clerk in that particular chain. Usually they're too busy doing nothing. Good for you. I'm happy that you're enjoying yourself like that. That's makes me feel good. All right. See how easy it was to say something? What a beautiful maiden form padded push-up. 38C. Nice. I wear a 42 double D. But then I paid good money for these babies as it is, so. Because I figure if I'm going to get them, I want them up and worthwhile. Make them proper size. And maiden form makes them nice ones. They make some good ones. What color? I happen to be wearing a white one tonight. Just plain old underwire, that's all there is to it. Nothing padded or molded. You know you've been wearing them long enough and you can't even remember what color it is. Ah, see? They're nice. Made you feel good, didn't it? Now there's two other people there. Jump in the conversation. Roger could do it. Black lights with tan pads underneath. Yeah, okay, well they do the little bump ups. Okay. Yes, it did. It wasn't. I'm happy you enjoyed yourself. One of the things I found, many a store that caters to women actually enjoy the proper, polite gentlemen who like the women's clothing or cross-dressers because we're polite, we relish the idea that we're being paid attention to, and we respond in kind, and we've got tons of money to spend. We don't complain. I was in an Avenue store, oh golly, many years ago, and as it turned out, the manager of that particular store was there. She was waiting on me, and she said, we actually prefer men to come in here and do the purchasing because women, when they come in to buy something, they suck. They bitch, they bellyache, they complain, they're cheap, and they're slobs in the dressing room. When men come in here, they're polite, they're decent, and they get a lot of money to spend. I thought, okay. Now that's a compliment. I appreciated that. Because we're so afraid of getting any negative that we do everything to make it polite and decent for the people who are working there. And we're good. Because it's really difficult to overcome Raincoat Charlie who goes in and fingers the material of the dress and you know what he's doing in his pocket. And that's a terrible, terrible stigma that we have to overcome. They did enjoy the time with me. Wanted to rent to get things for me to try, one from panty, one for the bra. Okay. Good. Good. They were taking good care of you. I'm happy for you. That's enjoyable to hear. That you were not treated shamefully. You were treated with dignity and respect because they have a sign on the front door. Front entrance, they get a sign there that says cross-dressers are welcome. The sign says Visa, MasterCard, Discover accepted here. And that's all you need to see. Your cash is as good as anybody else's. And if they don't want to wait on you or serve you, okay. No need to argue or complain. Take your business elsewhere, and I'm sure that if you belong to any kind of site or discussion area, simply say, don't go to that place. And that's all it takes. They may not understand what's going on, but their bottom line won't be as good as the next store that caters to people of our type. Well, that's it. That's how it's done. No need to argue, complain, or get all upset in a dither. There's plenty of other stores out there. Go to another one. Spend your money there. Real simple. And just make a comment. Don't even need to get upset. Just any site you have to be, hey, don't go to this site. They treated me shabby. And people, that's all they got to know. I apologize to them up front to put items through having to put them through having to serve me. Took me 20 minutes to scoping out the department before I was brave enough to walk up to them. And yeah. And they knew. And that's why they were so nice. That's why they were so nice, because they knew you were nervous and scared, and they were treating you proper, decent, making you feel more at ease. Quick question, Roger. Did the world fall down around your ankles? I'll bet you it didn't. Now, you're going to do that again, aren't you? I sure hope so. I really do hope so. Once you get over that first or the initial embarrassment worry, after that, just jump right out there like you know what you're doing. That's the big problem. That's the big thing. Once you're good, you're all okay. But I've gotten to a point where I really don't care. I shouldn't have to. Being a lady, I can buy lady clothes. It's very simple. Oh, I don't even think about bravery anymore. Just go buy what I want to buy when I want to buy it and call it good at that. No, it's all fine. It wasn't my first, probably about my fifth time, but a first in a year or so. Yep. Good. So now you feel better. I'm glad for you. I really am. You can read a lot of the postings and stuff that goes on my site. I try real hard to make it very polite, very careful, caring, concerned, and comfortable for everybody that comes in. It's almost boring, the rowdiness of some other chat sites. That's not what I'm looking for. You have enough worries about things like that, and you can, if you really want the rowdy rodeo type chat sites, there are 100 of them out there. Go find them, have fun, enjoy yourself. I'm looking for. Is it wrong that I get very aroused at dressing in women's underwear? No, it's not wrong. Feels good. Go for it. I wouldn't say it's wrong at all. And guilt is, don't worry about guilt. Don't be guilty of being guilty. Or don't be guilty of feeling guilty. Don't. It's unnecessary. You like to wear undies that originally were designed for women? You like to wear them? Go ahead. If you have a problem with worrying about, well, gee, if I go to the club with my golfing buddies and I'm taking a shower, they might say something. Well, okay, then pay attention to what you're going to wear before you go to a place where something might show. That's called common sense. But if you don't think anything is going to show, and you won't be in a position where you'll have to show something, wear them. Just be sure they're clean in case you get into a car accident. Your mom told you that. Always have clean underwear on in case you get in an accident. And if it does happen, don't worry about it, because those ambulance drivers have seen it all. They're too busy slicing it off you anyway to worry about what you're wearing. All right? I got a feeling with your comment with this, I'd wear 24/7 if I were not married. I get a feeling she don't know. I feel so comfortable when I dress, especially to wear my wife's night. Oh my, I'm a completely different person when I dress. Yup, I can understand that. If she doesn't know, be real careful, because surprisingly enough, she will find out. It's not a case of if she finds out. She will. It'll happen. It's never a case of when, if she finds out. It's when she finds out. If you have a real worry and you have the financial ability and or time, you might want to see a therapist of some kind to speak to them a little bit about it, just to get it all off your chest. And trust me, there are 100 in the St. Louis area. I would venture to say, without a lot of effort, you could find at least 10 gender therapists in that area within an hour or two's drive to see if you feel like you need to. Anything I say, don't take it as you need to go. Nope. It's all up to you, your choice, your ideas, your thoughts and feelings. I just know that sometimes it's best if you talk to somebody else. Actually, and you know, if you're going to spend $90 an hour or something like that for it, talk to them. Don't just sit there for the hour and say nothing. And I understand the calmness. I really, truly do. It how do I want to put it? There's a certain peacefulness that comes over you. She probably knows, but I never bring it up to her anymore. I just dress on my own. She knows what my stashes are. She knows, but left unsaid. Okay, to her it's an uncomfortable comment, subject, and if I don't talk about it, it's not happening. It's called denial. All right, don't shove it in her face. Don't even think of shoving it in her face. If the subject is anywhere remotely broached, kind of say, you know, well, I'm going to see somebody to figure out what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. You know, that's a thought. But if you think it might be rocking the boat a little bit by going to see somebody, then just don't. Above all else, you got a marriage. That's your primary thing, to keep that going. If you have this little thing you do, and she doesn't argue about it or threaten to throw you out of the house, as long as you're respectful about it, keep it going. If it's not spoken of, doesn't mean it's not happening, it's just not spoken of. And that's kind of different. I'm glad you're here. I got somebody to speak with now, see? So for the other three that are watching, jump into conversation, say something, bring up another subject. I'm happy with that. I can hold 2 or 3 conversations all at once, and I'm okay. I can do this. But that's where I needed to, like this, it helps me keep this ball going. Okay. Latest topics. There's some topics of how do you break the news to your wife, how do you deal with an not understanding wife. As you read through them, you'll get some good information on that. talk to others as you can, and you'll get hundreds of opinions, ideas, and whatnot else, and that's all they are. The opinions expressed here on this site, video and or my own site like that, are like the spaces between your toes. Everybody's got a couple, and most all of them don't smell so good. But they are opinions. Take them for what they're worth, but make your own. Don't let anybody tell you you should order this. Nope. I made a promise to myself many years ago. I will not be should upon. You should this, you should that, you should do the other thing. No. Don't should on me. I'm my own person. I'll do it my way. I'll take your advice. But that's all I'm going to do is take it. I'm not going to act on it. I'll act on my own ideas. And the other one, and I know everybody else has heard this one, you need to do X, Y, or Z. Just don't tell me I need to do something. The only thing I need to do is breathe. After that, all things are optional. Okay, when I dressed, the session always ended up with me, yeah. I wouldn't say you should feel guilty. Your laundry bill might go up a little bit by doing that, but that's not much I can help you with. As I was saying, when they tell me I need to do something, the only thing I need to do is breathe. Now, I will give you that after a couple of days, I might be acceptable to the idea that I need to have a glass of water, or it would be a good idea if I had a glass of water, but I don't need one. Same with eat, I mean, after a while, maybe having some bite to eat might be a good idea. But the only thing I need to do is breathe. After that, everything is optional. So that's one of the little pet peeves I have. I've been there, Roger, dressing furtively, secretively, and then fill in the blank. And at first I used to feel a little bit guilty, but then I got to thinking, why? So I just, guilt is one of the things I don't have anymore. Long story there, but basically I've looked in the mirror and said, not guilty. And I believe it. I'm not breaking any law. I'm not causing anybody physical pain. I'm not stealing anything. No guilt. End of. Yeah, we all know what happens after a dressing session and getting aroused. We kind of know that happens. And okay. But that's not the whole thrust of my site. It's one of the things where, yeah, we know it does. And we're okay with that. It just, almost like a fact of life. But if you have unresolved guilt feelings over it, I don't want to say highly recommend or even strongly recommend. It would probably be a good idea to speak with someone who is professionally qualified, who can either make your guilt go away or ease your guilt or explain to you why you do this, or have you figure it out, what you're up to and why. It's just kind of that simple. Because I'm not a qualified therapist and I don't even try to be. But I do know that sometimes talking with somebody who knows what they're talking about and is properly trained in what to say and how to say it and when to say it and offer advice, it might be a financially good investment in something of that nature. But again, I can't actually speak to it to say yes, you need to. I would just look into it. It don't hurt to look. Get some ideas on prices. And and by the way, you finally say to yourself, okay, I'm gonna go see a somebody. And you got your $90 for the hour's worth of time, or a little stash put aside to spend a couple hours worth at it. But you find out that this particular person I'm seeing doesn't give me a lot of insight into what, how, why, or where. And they're kind of like a dud. Well, you're not stuck with that person, understand? You can say, okay, look, Doc, I don't think I'm getting anywhere with you. I'm going to go find somebody else. And they'll go. Just go. It's kind of like shopping for a car. You don't always have to buy a Ford or always have to buy a Chevy. You go around to the different lots, you pick something that's going to fit your bill, give you the comfort you want, and meet all your requirements, and then you'll buy it. But you're not going to, if you wanted a family sedan to buy, you're not going to go buy a pickup. You know, you're going to buy something that's worth the effort, will accomplish the task you have for it. It's a tool. And that's what seeing these people are. It's a tool to help you figure out what's going on. If the tool don't work, buy another one or get rid of it. I can say that. That much I know. That's common sense. I got lucky as it was. The person I was seeing, she was good. She understood. So she helped me get through a lot of these things. And when it finally got to a point where I said, okay, I'm gonna this, she helped me find somebody to get the second letter and work from there. Because you need 2 letters for the surgery. At least in New Hampshire. And the doc I went to see for the surgery said, I want 2 letters. Okay, we can do that. So I did. And I'm happy about it. And that's about 2.5 years now. So it was all good. It was August of 14. So I enjoyed myself ever since. I finally went ahead and did what I wanted to do all my life. Took me forever to get here, but I got here. And I'm doing okay. We got all the 4 of us now. We had 7 the other night, but that's all right. Whoever else is there, come on. Roger's doing all the talking. Somebody else could join in there and say something. Besides undies and a bra, what else you got there, Roger? Roger, excuse me. Dresses, blouses, things. Do you have any hair pieces? I'm just curious. I hope you're still here. Or did you go away, too? Who has hair pieces, by the way? Not yet. Okay. Be careful when you do buy them. Don't buy the cheap $50 ones because it looks like a cheap $50 one. You can expect to spend 100, 100 and a quarter, maybe buck and a half. But those online $50 ones, they are not. You can find better quality in the Halloween store that pops up each year. So, yeah. No need to get that kind of. When you get yours, and again, just like buying your first pair of undies, you go into that a good salon that sells hair pieces. You won't be the first one they've ever dealt with. They're happy to have you. You're in there to spend money. You're respectful. You're polite. Treat them with respect. They'll treat you with respect. You're a good customer. Spend your money wisely. I tried some of the long ones, the long shoulder length and long hair. I never cared for much. I always prefer the just about shoulder length. Not much shorter or longer than this. This is the good length for me, that I like. But that's me. Because trust me, under this, nothing there. Nothing at all. Long gone away. Poof. Well, it's gone. So I need something to have on a covering. Yeah, it gets a little bit warm in the summer, hot months, but small enough price to pay. Come wintertime, I've got a hat on my head already. But you did get my ideas on what I was talking about finding somebody, right? I'm sure you did. Hope I made myself somewhat clear on that. There is an online shrink, and a Carol, somebody or other, she's out of Florida. She does sessions by way of Skype. I can't remember her last name. I've heard some people talk about her. If you can't have the time to go anywhere or something like that, I don't remember her name right offhand, but she's an online shrink. I think there's others out there that'll do the same thing, but she's the one that I think most prominent on that. I'm not even going to suggest where you want to go for the end of this, because you've got a wife and kid. You do have kids, right? You've got at least a wife that's the one who gets the most respect out of the whole deal. For me, when I was married, and the only reason the marriage went over is because she passed away. That was in '09. It happened. But I knew that as long as if she was still alive, we would not be having this conversation. This would no way have gone where it did. Because I knew that Phyliss was going to stay in the box in the bottom corner of the closet as long as I was married and of. No questions about it. That was my main promise. And going to be nothing less than that. No, I can always hold my head up high that I didn't cause her pain, anguish, divorce, or any of that stuff right at the bitter end. Nope. When I had the few opportunities, I would. When I had the opportunity to do what I always dreamed of, I went there. But I wasn't going to do it while I was married. Just nope, nope, nope. Not going to happen. But that's my way of doing things. And that's not your way or anybody else's way. And I would not presume to tell you how to go about living your life. I just know that if you need some assistance, and we all do at some point or other, and you can't find it talking with your buddies, your friends, or what you can find at the local gin mill bar, there are plenty of professionals out there who are willing to for a price, talk to you, and give you some advice if that's what you're looking for. You know, you might have to make them available to your own benefit. Give it a go. Something to consider. Only two of you now? Ah, bad luck. Now, what little bit you gave me for talking has been real handy. And I'm glad you did. Quick check here. Okay. As you find yourself, Roger, as you find yourself wandering around and maybe flopping in or dropping into the chat room, mention that this happens, you know, and that it's okay and enjoyable. It could be kind of fun, if you want to call this fun. I do. I find it interesting that I can talk with somebody, although it sounds like a one-way conversation. By reading your comments, I can address them. Yeah, there's a couple others I've watched. There's two other sites I watch that have nothing to do with draws. One is a fellow from Germany who speaks quite good English, but he is involved with 3D printers. And his online chats are pretty interesting. And there's another gentleman I watch, Michael Cthulhu, who lives on Martha's Vineyard in Massachusetts, Cape Cod Bay, who makes these gigantic 6-foot long fantasy swords, Dungeons and Dragons type swords. And he does that. He's a metal worker, fabricator, and he has occasionally online chats, which a lot of questions come up too. And so it's fascinating to watch both of them. You know, having seen them, I said, oh, I might be able to tailor that to my site or something like that. That's kind of where I want to go. Have conversations and or questions that I can answer as we go. Or if there is a question that comes up that I can't answer, I can read the question, put it up to other people to say, what do you think? What do you got for advice? And by doing that, perhaps we could have a more lively discussion with people, which is kind of another thing I'm looking for. If we can make it work. Condensation. Oh, by the way, in case you were wondering, my beverage is iced coffee that I've been sipping on here, and nothing in it, because I don't like the flavor of other stuff in my coffee. Don't want to mess it up. I prefer my taste of my coffee as coffee. Don't need any adult beverage flavoring it. To me, that ruins it. All right? Down to two of us now. Okay, and we're at 54 minutes. Another 5 or 6 minutes, and I'm going to be calling it a night. I appreciate those who have been watching. I wish you'd spoken a little more, made some more questions. Roger helped me carry the night with this one. Thank you for your questions, comments, statements. Helped me make the time go by a little better, and it was good. I really like that. I'm going to be on tomorrow night again. And Hopefully we'll have you back, or somebody will be back, and other people will be here. You are most welcome. Yeah, I do this because I care. I do it because I want to do it. I wish there was somebody had been doing something like this when I was first kind of beginning and starting, and I could watch and get ideas. But there wasn't. I don't know as YouTube was even out there at the time when No, it wasn't. I don't think even the internet was around then. I've been at this for a while. And, we're up to 4. The last 5 minutes. Yay! I'm glad that we had some people showing up tonight to talk. One carried tonight. There could be others. It doesn't take much to subscribe. If you subscribe, when I come online, there's a chat notice that I'm right there. If you want to watch me through your iPad, your cell phone, there's a whole bunch of ways of doing this. I want to help. And if you end up with one quick advertisement, deal with it. It's how I help pay for this. It doesn't do me trust me, I don't make a lot of money with 24 subscribers. I am not making a nickel out of this deal. I'm just barely making ends meet. In fact, I'm losing money, but I don't care about that. I'm doing this because I care. Somebody should. And I have other ulterior motives just to prove a point to myself that I can do this. Prove a point to myself that there are enough people out there who are interested. Just because I can do this, I'm doing it. What other reason would I need to do it? Simply because I can. And that's the whole reason I'm doing this. And it helps somebody. And by helping somebody, I can feel better about myself. My good deed, Girl Scout thing of the day, whatever you want to call it. And that's always fun. Girl Scout cookie sales, which happen most every February, March. I always buy some. And it's amazing when I go up to the counters to buy from wherever they are outside of grocery stores or who knows what. Ask some of them young girls, who is Juliet Lowe? And they kind of look at you like, huh? And I'm ready to pull my hair out that I don't have. They don't even know who founded their own scouting regime. You know, and I think you're supposed to know these things. The mothers usually do, the scout leaders know a lot of the answers. But I always make the girls think about it for a little bit, and I give a positive enforcement that you're doing a good thing, you're smart, you're intelligent. I make sure that they feel good about what they do. I don't tell them who I am. As far as they're concerned, it's just some crazy old lady. And that's really all they need to know. But they feel good about it, and I don't put them down for what they do. All right. We're coming down to the 1 minute mark now of left to go. It's been a pleasure. It's been enjoyable. I've enjoyed myself. I wish we'd had more participation. That's going to be one of the ongoing statements you're going to hear me saying over and over again until I get more people saying something, joining in, adding to the conversation. Because I need this. All right? More you can help me, I can help you. And that's all this whole thing is about. If you can make a comment, compliment, insult me even if you want on the words. I'll do what I can to correct the situation. But I need to know that you're out there and watching. Yeah, I get a number that says 4 watching. But I don't know who you are. And I want to help. Or at least I want to talk with you. Otherwise, we're pretty well done for the night. I will see you tomorrow night. Peace out. Bye-bye.